Hello, everyone's. I am here for The Watchmen, Season 1, Episode 7. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, you a family member, you one of my peoples, well, welcome back. You guys, these episodes are good, but it's like, you never know what's going to happen on the show, and I love it. The acting, the cinematography, everything. But like last week, I didn't realize when Sister Night was under the influence of Granddaddy Will's nostalgia pills that she was merging different memories into one. Like when those men were being drugged by the police when Will was younger. Like 20-something-year-old Will, that was seeing the young child Will seeing the people drug, while 20-something-year-old Will was seeing the police car roll away. I don't know how I missed that, but I was just so enthralled in what was going on that I didn't realize that. But somebody commented below, so whoever that was who commented, thank you for that, because like so many times I be watching and I just don't be catching it. Now, mind you, I know nothing about the comic books. If it was a comic book of the Watchmen, I did not watch the movie. I'm just coming in fresh. Well, I've been watching since episode 1. I've been doing since episode 1. But, like, I know nothing else besides that. And, like, this episode, I was like, really? Like, I did not think that was going to happen. But let's go ahead and get to it. We have a young Angela going to like a Blockbuster type of store to get a VHS of Sister Night. Now, y'all, when I was little, it was joy to go to the Blockbuster and you finding your movie there and not just seeing the empty case. Like, it was just everything. And then, we didn't get the snacks there. It was like, y'all was acting like the movie theater, so we're not finna spend all that money on snacks. We can go to the Family Dollar that is right across the street and get some snacks and get a lot more for our buck. But anyway, that was the joy of Blockbuster when I was younger. So she had been trying to watch this movie for weeks, and her parents was like, no, you were too young for that. You gonna have to wait till you grow. Daddy says people who wear masks are dangerous, and he probably got that from his mama. I was thinking that, but later on in the episode, I realized, no, that wasn't it. So, as she is taking the tape back to the place, we see like a flash of like Will when he was a little boy. And I was trying to figure out what was going on. But then I realized, okay, this is her memories jammed with a little bit of Granddaddy Will's memories. And like we see some dude on a bike grab a backpack and he just jumps on this tank car and just blows him and everybody in the general facility up. And she watched as her parents died. And I was like, that is similar to like what baby Will went to. I don't want to say baby Will because he wasn't no baby. But like young Will went to, like seeing his parents killed. Angela the same way, seeing her parents killed right in front of her. And then like she like wakes up and like falls out of the bed, and like Dr. True is sitting there like, yeah, I brought you to my facility since I'm the one that made nostalgia, so yeah, we're gonna give you this little treatment right quick. And because like since she's taking Granddaddy Will's pills, like it's kind of messed with her mind, and she has to do this like whole simulation of like, what is she going through and all these other things. I'm like, do we have to pump this through her vein? Could y'all not have had like a little slideshow of what's happening to her? Because apparently she keep on asking Dr. True the same questions over and over again. Okay. She's connected to Granddaddy Will, and it is not safe for her to see him since she spent a few days as him. It's like, yeah, that can do something to your mind, baby. So no, you don't need to be seeing Granddaddy Will at this, current moment. We're gonna give you a few days, but you're gonna be good. Blake is listening to recordings that Sister Night did while she was under the Granddaddy Will's memories, and Petey calls her and said how y'all know how we thought that the Looking Glass was working for the Cavalry. Yeah, I don't think that's it, because there's like 5 Cavalry members here that are dead, and he is nowhere to be found. I was like, okay, good, Even though he ratted Angela / Sister Night out, I'm like, I think he did it for a good reason, because he didn't want her children or her husband to be killed. So, yeah. So Blake goes to Judge's wife's house and to let her know that Will, which is Angela's granddaddy, killed Judd. And she was like, I didn't think she had family. I was like, technically, she didn't know about Granddaddy Will until she swiped his DNA. That is when she knew about him. So she wasn't lying. And she said, oh, yeah, and Granddaddy Will was a Hood of Justice. Well, that wasn't her granddaddy. He was the Hood of Justice. I was like, yeah, he was the Hood of Justice. I was like, people thought he was white because he had some white makeup over his eyes. I was like, that just looks like white. That does not look like a white person's skin. It just looks pale. It looks like white, like the color white. But I guess, anyways, she was saying how a white man in the hood is okay, but a black man in the hood, that's not okay. It's scary, isn't it? She's like getting at her like, white man in the hood, KKK, Calvary, all that stuff. That's okay back then. But like having a black man that's a superhero and a purple person of justice, that's just scary. They wouldn't fit to have that. And she was like, what if Calvary is Cyclops by another name? I was like, I didn't think of that. And she's like, what if Senator Joe used them to kill a bunch of police so all the cops could wear masks and no one could tell the good from the bad because everyone is covering their faces. And she was like, and they pledged their loyalty to their new leader, President Joe. Now, that seems weird, but what if that's what's happening? This is when Judge's wife, whose name I don't know, it's like, that was the original idea, and suddenly presidents seem like small potatoes. And she was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to confess yet. And then she pulls out this remote and it's like clicking it and it's nothing happening. At first I was like, Blake, what did you do to the remote? Did you do something? She was like, what are you doing? Soon as she did that, it's like, what's wrong? That would have been your time to pull out your gun and right to the dome. Like in the arm, something jumped up, moved to the side, done something. But no, she continued to hit the button, and doggone Blake there's a trap door. Just falls through the trap door and she in the basement. Now, Judge's wife was like, yeah, Detective Blake just showed up in my house. You want me to kill her? Do you want me to kill her? Like, just so casually. Like, really? Knew something. Should have known something was wrong with y'all. Now, young Angela had to identify the man who killed her mama and daddy. Like, we not in no courtroom. We not in no jail. I'm not behind was it a two-way mirror or one-way mirror? Whatever kind of mirrors at the judge house, at the police station. I cannot think of the correct one right now. But y'all know what I'm talking about. No, I'm just getting taken out of the orphanage, going over to dude. Is that the dude that killed your mama and daddy? Yep, that's him. I'm not scared to tell it. That's him right there. And they just take dude around the back of the building and just shoot him. No trial, no nothing. He didn't get a lawyer. We just went to the dome and he did. I'm like, this what we doing? Angela said she wanted to sit there and listen to what happened. And one of the officers says, when you grow up, come look for me, and gave her a little bag. I was like, okay. This is when Angela was like, she wanted to do something to protect people. I was like, okay. Angela kind of wakes up from that memory, and Ben was like, what did you dream about? And Angela, she was like, I don't know what she said because I didn't type that down, but Ben tells Angela how she has these dreams that she's like an old woman and in pain and scared and she's hurt. And Angela said she felt the same thing when she was having Granddaddy Will's memory. Like, she can feel all of the pain. I was like, that's scary and creepy at the same time. And we see Angela, and this is when I'm talking about some of the photography, the cinematography that they did. We see Angela's eyes. And it goes from Angela's eyes to what looks like some eyes at a courthouse, because creepy weirdo dude is on trial. Yeah, that is his name. He's still gonna be creepy weirdo dude. I just be having names for just random people on these shows that I'll be watching, and I'm so here for it, and I'm glad y'all here for it too, somewhat. So like I said, creepy weirdo dude, he is on trial. But it was weird because the prosecutor and all the jury are all the clones. It was very somewhat unnerving because they looked like they was there, but not all the way there. And it's like they all clones. So like my mind was, it wasn't playing tricks on me. It was just like, okay. So are these like the only two like batches of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like we didn't have any other like type of clones that we can make. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. Somebody was at the door. Yeah. Where was I at? Oh, yeah. Creepy weirdo dude, he on trial. But, like, all the prosecutors and juries being the same. Like, y'all didn't have, like, another, like, batch of clones that look different. Like, okay, maybe we can have, like, 8 to 10 of y'all looking like this. Maybe we can have maybe 16 of y'all looking like this. But, like, them all the same. And, like, the prosecutor, she's going on how after he scooped us out of the lake and he was killing us left and right and shooting us out here and there. And I was like, I guess to make this a more authentic trial, they was wearing powdered wigs. I was like, okay, this what we doing? Prosecutor, she got her on a little powdered wig. You know, judge, he got on him a little powdered wig. I'm like, okay, like, they don't do that no more. And, you know, they don't really be rocking with the powdered wigs anymore, do they? Or like, I don't be in court like that, so I don't know. Maybe over there in England, they be wearing a powder wig. I don't know. But I guess to make it more authentic, you know, powder wigs. So, they asked him, does he have anything to say? And he stands up and breaks wind as loud as all get out. And it's like, oh, that's all I had to say. I was like, really? This what we doing? Creepy old weird dude? Creepy weirdo dude? I'm sorry. It's creepy weirdo dude. I'm sorry, I messed up your name. So, the judge lets in, like, releases in some pigs and it's like, okay, Mr. Pig, what do you think? Pig went, rah, rah, rah. You know, because as a pig does, and he's like, yes. He says guilty. I'm like, so we just letting the pig decide his fate? Then everybody, all the clones, guilty, guilty, guilty. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, first of all, I'm assuming he had done something to where he was, you know, forced to live where he was at. But I'm like, why we give him this mansion and why do we give him access to things like clones and, you know, the microwave oven to get the clones from being babies to grown-ups? Why do we do this? Like, if he's supposed to be punished and he got all this vast land, this huge mansion, why didn't we have him elsewhere? But anyways, we found out from Lady True that Cal was in an accident and that he had total amnesia. And True says total amnesia is rare unless you're on a soap opera. You know, that in real life, that almost never happens. And Angela's like, well, it did. When you saying you lying, and I was like, is Cal lying? Now I'm like, okay, what's going on? Total amnesia and all that stuff. Is he really lying? I'm sorry, I'm playing with my hair. I need to do something about these ends. But anyways, like, is he lying? She's like, well, what should go on? He said, they talk about the medicine and all that stuff, the pills she took. I'm like, who was 4th Street and BM? Because your daughter, your daughter is saying she having all these memories as an old woman. She's like, oh, BM's not my daughter. And she's my mother. Before she died, I harvested her memories. And I cloned her. And, like, slowly but surely, like, she wouldn't be my mama if she didn't have all, you know, all the things that made her my mama. So, you know, slowly I've been giving her IV at night. That's why. She's like, you one crazy woman. She's like, well, my life's work has almost come, you know, into fruition. She didn't use that word, but I am. And am I wrong for wanting to have my mother and father there? She's like, your daddy here too? And I was like, is Will your daddy? Is Will your daddy? Just asking, maybe not. But that's where my mind went. She says she also wants to save humanity in Oklahoma, and the start is in Oklahoma. I was like, okay. She's still looking at her like, okay. So this is when it got weirder. Angela breaks down the door to talk to Granddaddy Will, and there's an elephant in the room, and the elephant is connected to her. And I'm like, what does that mean? She's supposed to be connected to Granddaddy Will, but you connected to a full-on elephant. Like I was confused. I was like, is Granddaddy Will the elephant? Did his memories get put into the elephant? I didn't know what was going on. And then she flashes back to like young Angela when she met Grandmama June when she was in the orphanage, and Grandmama June came there to get her out of the orphanage and everything. And she was saying how, my son, he told me he wanted to be a police officer, and he wanted to, go to Vietnam. He wanted to be a soldier. And she was like, well, basically, if you do that, I ain't never going to talk to you no more. Which she didn't. Then she tried to write, and, like, she got a letter saying he died. Then, like, he had a wife, but she died, too. Then she got a grandbaby. So I'm here to take you back to Tulsa. I was like, okay, that's good. That's real good. She showed Grandma the tape of Sister Night, and she was like, okay, you can watch that. She was a bad woman. And young Angela was like, yeah, she looks like me. They had them a little lunch. Okay, it's time to go back home. And she tells Angela tells Grandmama June that the daddy didn't want to watch that because, the person wears a mask. And she was like, your daddy was scared of somebody who wore a mask before, which was Granddaddy Will. Granddaddy Will flipped out last episode trying to, get the paint and all the makeup off of young Granddaddy Will. And that scared... Not off of Granddaddy Will. Granddaddy Will tried to get the makeup off of Angela's daddy, and that scared Angela's daddy. So now people with masks, you don't want to be around. That's where I'm going. So they get in the taxi. They about to go to the airport. Grandma goes around the back of the car to walk around. She just dies. I'm like, really? Young Angela couldn't win for losing. Like, first she had to see her mom and daddy die. Now, as soon as she thinks she getting out of the orphanage and she, gonna be with family, Grandmama June just passes away. I'm like, Chad, I cannot. Angela, she finds a globe with the people who have been calling Dr. Manhattan for help. And Lady True, Dr. True, whatever her name is, True comes in talking about he's in Tulsa. Yeah. And he's a human. He's been disguised as a human. And the cavalry plan to catch him and become him. And Angela tells now earlier on the day, not in the episode, a little bit or in the episode, Blake was talking to the senator, and the senator was like, it's hard out here being a white man. We don't get this, we don't get that. But I'm trying to turn blue. And I was like, I didn't know what that mean, but now I know what it means. Him and the cavalry, they're going to try to take on the powers of Dr. Manhattan. I'm like, really? This what we doing? So Angela, she is in her car, and she sees one of her police officers. She's like, tell old dude up there to move out my way, or I'm going to ram into him. And she was like, I'm telling you again, move out of my way, or I'm going to ram him. He called her bluff, and she ran up on him, and bam. Then I was like, who is Dr. Manhattan? Well, Cal is Dr. Manhattan. I was like, really? Cal is Dr. Manhattan? Child, he was never in an accident, first of all. They did that so they could be together. I guess people are always looking out to get him or whatever. And he just wanted to be a normal person. But he wasn't a normal person. That's the only way we're going to do this. We're going to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. You was in the accident. You have total amnesia. So Angela gets home and she got a hammer. She's like, all right, babe, you wasn't in no accident. Listen here. We planned all this thing. You don't know that. She got the hammer and she got like the hook part of the hammer. And she's just looking at him. I'm like, ooh, this not going to be good. And in the head. And she's steady bashing him in his head. And she takes something out of his head and like, baby, we in trouble. And I'm like, what if the kids that came downstairs to get a drink of water and they just see you just with a hammer just going in on Cal's head? What was they gonna do then? Child, when I tell you this was a good episode, but I'm like, I never would have thought that it was Cal that was Dr. Manhattan. Like, Angela, she got all these doggone people in her family by blood and marriage, like Granddaddy Will, he was the hooded justice. Cal, he's Dr. Manhattan. Like, her family is dope. That's all I got to say, y'all. So that was just, if I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on, so when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it, you can share it with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you're returning, you're already a family member, one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.